I
It is really your call.
I've
If that
lived all my life
rowboat
in
out there wasn't so broke down, I'd say we should just take that downstream, but
Can we fix it?
We still have...
I'm not exactly a carpenter.
Can you become one?
The current condition of that ramshackle boat looks beyond any of your means to make serviceable. It's a miracle that it's somehow managed to stay on the water. It's probably because it's mostly on land.
Oh no, I said it was pulled up onto the jetty.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically have no food left, right?
You have,
we're not. We might have enough food for lunch.
Yeah.
We're gonna start going hungry soon.
Like, this place seems better than most that we'll probably find to
Yeah, I mean,
base out of for a day or two to get food.
Yeah, we could sleep here for another night. If we're really desperate, one of us could probably shoot a deer.
Do you know how
to clean a deer?
I mean, it's basically the same thing as cleaning a rabbit or a pheasant, but bigger.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm familiar with the idea of cleaning a deer.
I've heard of cleaning deers before.
Have I done them?
I know how to. I participated in cleaning a deer on a few occasions.
On an occasion.
Back before Pappy MacGannigan, you know.
Let's have a an intelligence plus survival forest from Potman. He's participated in it before. Yeah, he could replicate that.
I mean, I haven't cleaned a deer since I was like 14, but I could probably, yeah.
You vividly remember the remembers. Pappy MacGannigan. Pappy
MacGannigan, may he rest in peace, walked me through it.
And it scarred you for life.
No, I mean, that just started me on the path of marrow.
Where's your marijuana?
Right here. Pat.
Okay. Well, Trusty Tony's like, I really don't got much survival skills, but I could go look around a bit.
I mean, you got pretty good shooting skills, but like I said, we really don't want to be firing off guns unless we have to.
You try to sneak up on something.
Yes.
And then what? Shoot it in its butt?
Like, are you suggesting that Kat use her bat to club a deer to death? Because
I'm suggesting I have
I could.
cutting tool.
Are you suggesting you're going to stab a deer in its butt?
you're gonna try and tackle and stab a deer?
I'm just saying, it's an option, right?
Yeah, no, sure. Yeah,
it's an option.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to be out here looking for things.
I guess I'll finish it off.
You guys do that.
So Potman's gonna, whenever it gets back to his turn, I've got a thing for Potman to do.
Trusty
I
Tony's
assume
got an
that
idea.
however we rotate, we're basically gonna have everyone else helping whoever's leading at the time.
Yeah.
And we're
Basically, Eugene and Kathlyn have already done things. Leaving before they can take turns again, it would be up to Trusty Tony and Fletch.
to try to help us put together some supplies.
Yeah?
Trusty Tony's gonna go use perception plus notice to see if he notices any berry bushes. Now, mind you, he doesn't know if these berry bushes are actually in season or particularly safe to eat. He's just looking for them.
Alright. Maybe not notice, but maybe just a 1d10 plus perception, -2, since he's not exactly sure in all of the heavy foliage what might be useful and what might not be.
Nope.
He, looks at a few things, he, scrutinizes them, no, those are leaves.
Oh, no, that's not it. Damn it. That's a bug.
Damn it.
Food isn't green if it's edible.
Alright.
Well, finding food seems to be the important thing.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we want to go look for an animal to shoot?
I mean, if we were going to do that, you would probably want to take me because 9mm ammo is probably something you can get rid of.
I would also end up saying, and Fletch would have a very good idea of this. He would have the easiest chance of sneaking up on any animal to deal with.
And I have the longest range weapon with something like 150 rounds for it.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Ammo bait.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to go hunting a deer with a handgun.
Yeah,
Watch me.
yeah.
Alright, so Fletch is looking to use a ranged weapon for this situation.
I assume the 5.56 rifle.
Alright, in that case, go ahead and give me a 1d10 plus dexterity, minus 2.
Kapow!
Oh.
Can he aim first?
He's not firing.
Oh.
Okay. Fletch manages to find and even take down with a shot a small animal. You can go ahead and describe it. It's basically going to be enough to feed you all, like 4 survival rations, 1 each.
What would even be up here that would be small? And
Rabbits.
that wouldn't be 4 rations.
You shot 2 rabbits in a row.
They were actually mating, so 1 bullet went through both of them.
Maybe you found a beaver.
Are
Sure.
beavers in the Appalachian Mountains?
Probably somewhere.
I don't know the,
Maybe you found an extremely lost beaver.
I do not know the fauna of the Appalachians, so something of adequate size.
It could be, a small deer that he ends up, killing. Like
I killed Bambi.
yeah, you killed his mom. There we go.
Or maybe he found a freshly killed deer that a mountain lion was eating and managed to scare it off with a shot quick enough to have a haunch left.
I ain't afraid of no cougar.
You could have killed an opossum.
At any rate, then the corpse would be like, I can't hold this back on my own. Eugene. I go,
Always
Eugene.
to bring something.
Or
How much?
yeah.
How much do they weigh? Like,
Well, it would still be difficult terrain that you're going through, and you wouldn't want to have all that extra weight on you and then accidentally lose your footing.
and I would point out, if I were going hunting, I would actually ask Eugene to come with me, since I don't want to get lost.
Okay,
Yeah!
Okay, Jeremy Fletcher 1.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Trusty
go for
Tony.
the second one. Go.
Okay, that ends up being basically a fair that ends up taking several hours to properly spot and highlight an item just in time for lunch. Woo!
Are we having whatever this is for lunch?
Some
Mystery meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trail rations we should really hold off on because they'll hold.
Are we having meat soup?
No.
So basically, your kill has been found, and then you can fix it up. Yeah, that's your lunch. Woo!
Meat soup with meat chips and meat broth. Hope none of you are
It's-
vegetarian.
It's deer tartare.
Okay, that's everyone having acted.
Guess we keep looking for food for the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, Potman is now going to head out and
Well, I will point out, we have to find something bigger that can actually give us carryable rations. Because if we're literally just hunting for each meal, we're never going to leave.
right. So what Potman's going to be heading out to try and find right now is some proper amount of like fruit, berries, edible bark, edible roots, edible greens, whatever. He's going to try and get as much of this stuff as he can possibly wrangle up in the hopes that they'll have something that can hold for a little while so that they can eventually get going.
Okay, how does he plan on doing that?
With I don't want to just use perception plus survival again.
Yeah, I would not be too.
How about intelligence plus survival?
He's done that as well for the whole deer thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want you folks to utilize different tasks.
Right. So I might have to rethink that.
So we have to get out of here before we run out of viable tasks that can keep us alive.
Yes, correct.
The force
So
is working
let-
against us.
That's the timer there, yeah.
So let's
Artificial difficulty, you bastard.
Devious.
Let's cross out cheating, dodge, gambling, haggling, streetwise.
Hey, you can
smooth
cheat,
talking.
Grimith, I think.
Pretty
Can we
much.
cheat the GM?
Okay,
You're pretty much crossing off the entire skill set of all flesh.
I'm going to smooth talk the forest.
I mean, if it's all you got, it's fine. I just want you folks to try to work together, and all of you end up using your skill set to create something instead of just perception plus notice. Something with survival. Yeah.
yeah, I definitely got you. Okay, how about this? Can Potman use dexterity plus stealth to try to sneak up on and club into unconsciousness a deer?
Yes.
Aren't you just making fun of me for this?
Yes. We'll say that. We'll
what-
say.
Yes?
We'll say that this has a feeling, generous. There will only be a -3 penalty associated with this.
Let's try it. No.
Unfortunately, Eugene is fairly. It's just the last one, some sort of fucking twig or branch or just leaves. It just, crinkle at the last one. At one point, Trusty Tony's like, "Hey, Potman! Shit!" Eugene is unfortunately not able to grab and take down any game.
He's got no game.
No.
Shit.
Alright, and if you'll excuse me for just a moment,
Sure.
I have some food that I can forage for now. Pizza's here.
Oh,
Alright, that's Eugene having acted then.
Well, if no one else is going to speak up, I guess I will.
Sure. What you got?
Well, I'm noticing that only notice acting and guns pistol are the only things that could have any possible help in this situation. At any length. I mean, I can't.
You can attempt to emulate skills, such as what you ended up doing there with the whole foraging for berries. That's what I had there. We would just end up taking at least a -2 penalty.
Okay. Okay. Trusty Tony is going to attempt to use. Well, I wanted Trusty Tony to basically go off hunting with his pistol because he saw how Fletch did. He's like, I can go do that.
Sure.
He's going to use perception plus guns pistol because this is it's about all I got.
Okay. He can do that. Sure.
I have to find something to hunt though.
Yeah, that'll end up being a -2 penalty. Trusty Tony's not exactly sure of, the various, identification between what might be moving and, what would be worthwhile for him to actually shoot. You'd only have, one shot at it before it scampered off.
So it's going to be my perception plus my gun skill.
-2, yes.
Yes. Bam!
Describe!
Trusty Tony's like,
that's
oh, I can
4
go up and do
success levels.
Trusty Tony's like, I can go up and do that, and just wanders off by himself with no one helping him because reckless as fuck. And whoa, lo and behold, 10 steps away from the camp, there's a nice animal of some sort. Trusty Tony can explain. It's an animal. And he's just like, oh. Picks up his pistol, shoots it in the head, and it dies.
Alright.
Hey guys, look what I found.
Roll a 4 plus 2d4 for me.
4 plus 2d4?
4 plus 2d4.
Okay.
We'll say that is 12, basically, rationable things found. 4
Bam.
of which will be consumed for dinner. So that's basically an extra 8.
Hey guys. You just guys don't use guys off doing your things else and just hear, BAM! Guys, look what I found.
the fuck, Tony?
go ahead and slowly haul this and...
Tony insists on hauling it in by himself.
Yes.
I'm
Hello.
a winner!
And-
Basically, Trusty Tony just acquired 12 more rations for the group, 4 of which will be consumed for supper, so the plus 8.
How?
Trusty Toy decided that he could go hunt meat as well. Walked 10 steps out of the camp, found something. He can't explain what it is, and just shot it.
Like a large fucking deer.
Bam!
He's trying
Did
to
you just
figure
shoot a Sasquatch?
I don't know what it is. You tell me.
out
probably-
if shoot a dog or something.
And you can find, like, enough, like, sort of, like, salt, like, laying around in the cabin from, like, you know, decayed things, like a carton of it, to just, like, try to put all over the meat in the hopes that it'll, you know, hold on a bit.
It's like one of 3 things in the cupboard, like a half full thing of kosher salt.
Yeah.
Salt, and more salt. It's the only thing edible in the house.
Well, I've just fed us for 2 more for part of a day.
I mean, good job. I totally love the taste of Sasquatch.
Alright. With, you know, all of that meat and the necessary cooking preparation that'll end up being required, you basically end up burning through the entire day with stuff like that.
Cooking and cleaning
Yeah.
whatever this animal is.
Preparing, eating, you know, relaxing, trying not to tax things too much.
Hey, at least we've got more food to go off of finally.
Hey, we have enough. I think we might have enough food for another day, and supplies.
I think you guys have, I think it was 12 survival rations now. You're back to where you started off.
Pretty much.
Which can get us a day in any direction, and we're based on the estimates, we might be able to make Romero in a day.
You didn't travel too far from where you started when you initially headed down the river, like an hour or so.
Right.
Before you found the cabin.
Well, yeah, but if we can travel for, we can
A lot
make
of
the
hours.
endurance. Well, rather, not everybody could make that endurance.
Hey,
Cat just shrugs it off.
Well, I mean, if it were 15 miles, it would take 10 hours of walking at 3 endurance per hour.
With 2 resistance to fatigue.
I can make
Right.
that.
Cat, even without that, Cat isn't the one.
Right. Trusty
Didn't
Tony
say.
is
hey,
the first
Potman
person.
only
that-
Or
has
trust-
28. He can't make that either.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Are you trying to say me and Potman are out of shape?
No, just you.
Well, I'll have you know that I just killed whatever this is.
point being, simply we can't make it in one day,
Yeah.
realistically.
Endurance is partially based on willpower. And Eugene, you know, he caves fairly easily.
Yeah, no, he's in great shape. He just
I don't
doesn't
wanna-
have-
Can't do it for long.
he doesn't have the will to stay.
Whatever. Are we going to move out tomorrow, or are we going to spend part of another day gathering food again?
We should probably move.
I'm okay with moving.
Well, we did fire guns twice.
Yeah, we should
Should
probably
definitely
leave here
move.
soon.
Well, I guess we're leaving first light tomorrow then.
Okay.
Pretty much.
You folks end up taking a load off on your feet for another night. You recover 2 more life points.
Trusty Tony's at 50% health.
The
We're getting there.
The night is again fairly uneventful. Not the most relaxing sleep, what with all the sounds outside, but it could be worse. Could be zombies. Could have been son of a bitch.
Oh boy.
You shouldn't have said that.
New day. First light. It is pouring heavily.
On the plus side, it'll make it that much harder to track us.
Yes.
On the downside,
On the downside, fuck.
do we have well,
Right, shield above the head.
sure.
I mean, your character's technically strong enough to do that, but God, if that is not awkward.
Um,
And you made fun of me for wanting a cowboy hat.
I still am gonna make fun of you for wanting a cowboy hat. Because this is in Texas.
So
Exactly.
Who
I'm
can
not
dispute
seeing
that
the logic
reasoning? Yeah.
Who could dispute my logic?
sounds ironclad to me.
Do I need to smooth talk you into believing me? Let's just
Do it.
smooth this out.
Are we gonna have a smooth off?
No, you're not douchebag MacGannigan. Wait, douchebag McGee.
Douchebag MacGannigan, the lesser known brother.
Yes, one of my kinsmen. He didn't do so well.
He's kind of the black sheep of the family.
Wait, I thought Potman was the black sheep of the family.
He stays sober. I mean, come on.
Potman is like the
whitest sheep.
family model. Are you kidding me?
Are you providing for your entire family now,
Douchebag
Potman?
MacGannigan is the straight edge cousin.
No. Granny MacGannigan's mountain hooch is providing for the entire family. But Potman is an entrepreneur in the family spirit.
I'd love to think that's like the brand label on it. Granny's Mountain Hooch.
That's
brand hooch.
exactly what I'm saying. No, I mean, back during the days of Prohibition, the MacGannigans were,
Say that word again.
Prohibition?
You said prohibition. You pronounced it really awkwardly.
Oh, Prohibition.
There you
All
go.
the while.
All the whole while. The planetarium.
But back during those days, moonshine was a popular export out of these here hills.
These here hills.
And her husband, he was a longtime gun runner.
Mm-hmm.
Can any of you hear that? I think I hear a banjo.
I said last time that, in fact, I had Potman say it in character that he's basically a hillbilly.
And apparently he thinks Fletch is a hobo.
Wait, which is worse?
He didn't. I'm not saying hobo, just homeless for now.
You can't settle down.
He's between places. Is
Okay,
that like,
okay. Just to get this thing moving on. Trusty Tony's going to look for a leaf big enough. Wait, this isn't the rainforest. Damn it. Forget I said anything.
What the fuck, Jordan?
So let's look at B movie logic here. Clearly, if we stay during this heavy rain, something is going to happen to us.
Swarmed by government officials and zombies.
And if we leave in the
go,
heavy
there's gonna be
rain,
a slasher in the mists.
bad is going
At least
to happen
this
to
isn't
us.
Left 4 Dead 2, where you have to go through that rainstorm and you have to go back to the base.
Carrying gas through the witches.
All right, but Potman will actually point out. Listen, if we don't get moving,
I have a question. What's the temperature outside feel even though it's raining?
It's warm.
Okay, so it's a warm rain, so it's not that
Warm
bad.
rain.
It'll
it's
be uncomfortable, but it's a warm.
suffocatingly humid.
Oh, it's
It's not so bad. You are a bit elevated. You are in Pennsylvania, not as bad as you would be like say further south in the wetlands, but it could be worse. Could be better.
But I agree. We need to be moving.
Yeah, we
Don't
can't
move,
keep
just
sticking
gonna
around
stay.
here. We've been lighting fires and firing off guns, and I mean,
isn't that just normal
this
hillbilly
food's not
stuff?
going to hold out forever either.
Man, isn't lighting fires and shooting off guns normal hillbilly stuff?
Yeah, when you're not inside of like an evacuation zone.
Since when do hillbillies believe the government?
Since Waco.
About to say they believe in the government being horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
And we-
definitely be moving.
And we go and we send, we just, and off we march into the rain.
Okay.
Hopefully it stops after a few hours.
Eugene and Trusty Tony have engaged in activities as you all end up beginning your march, basically at 7 in the morning. So we look towards Fletch and Cat as you all begin your first hour of walking. What can you bring to the table to assist the group in traversing through this terrain?
I have an idea.
Literally have no skills that are very applicable to the wilderness.
Well then, just roll something untrained. You gotta try, man.
You said you had something, Chris?
Yeah, well, he's thinking. Is it possible to use acrobatics as like a way to, I don't really say it this way, but parkour my way up some rocks to look at something?
Sure, you could end up, say, using acrobatics to get yourself up, from branch to branch, or basically to get a greater survey point of where to go, where the best footing would be. I'm
Yeah,
fine with that.
yeah, I'm gonna think about that. Get up somewhere high and look at see if I can find any ways that'd be easier through the rain.
You can use an acrobatics plus dexterity for that. Okay, with 2 successes there, Kat, quite nimbly, using her acrobatics training, manages to quickly scale up some rocks using a combination of branches and find an excellent vantage point with which to survey the terrain. And although it's difficult to see through the greenery and the rain, she is able to assist the party in moving forward.
Let's get on an actual trail, no matter how horribly muddy that'll be.
So what effect does this have?
That means you guys actually end up making progress.
Hooray!
Progress get.
Progress get.
But loss of endurance.
Yep, that's 3 points of endurance.
Unless your name is Fletch. Cat.
Or cat.
Okay, yeah.
You have resistance.
Okay, yes.
Which advantage is that?
Resistance fatigue.
Resistance fatigue.
Okay. It's currently 8 in the morning now. You've been traveling for 1 hour and heading now towards 2 hours.
Come on, Fletch. Lead us to victory.
I'm staring
you
at my skill list, and I really...
Then do the
Can't
skill
use
you don't have
climb
on
to
your
do the
skill
same
list.
thing?
Yeah.
Climb a tree.
Sure, the last time you used climbing was like with a perception-based thing to try to spot the best areas for the group to traverse, but Fletch can certainly do some traversing himself and maybe taking the rope that Kathlyn found, end up leading that down for the group to follow through.
Is indeed rope.
Sure, I could do that.
Alternatively, he could try
Let's
to
do
climb
that.
and find us some eggs to eat. Eggs.
Now he's
Raw
a thief in addition to being a horse thief.
egg thief.
I'll have you know he has never stolen a horse.
But he is homeless.
No, not per se.
Okay, so he has a home somewhere.
Sure.
He is owning or renting a property.
It's where
Let's-
his heart is.
Let's imagine.
So
let's
he's
imagine,
homeless.
Let's imagine.
Because he's a
for moment-
rambling man. His home is on the range.
Where the
imagine
deer
for
and
a
the
moment.
antelope play.
I guess so.
Man, I would kill an antelope for a deer right now.
Wait, what?
You know, the deer and the antelope are pretty fierce street gangs where he comes from.
Is this like the Sharks and the Jets?
No, this is like West Side Story.
Well, when you're a jet all the way.
Yeah.
So what would you like me to roll? Let's just...
Tunnel snakes rule.
Well, this has been, the combination that you asked about. You can make one.
Tunnels. Fallout. Yeah. I'll just go with the climbing thing you suggested to keep it moving since I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. You can go with a strength plus climbing then. Okay. Fletch manages to scale a bit of particularly treacherous terrain. Leads down a rope for the others to go through. Saves a bit of time. Otherwise, you'd be slogging through the fucking trenches. Certainly, you don't want to walk down the river in the middle of this. Okay. Go ahead and mark that down. Ooh. It's currently 9 in the morning. You folks have been traveling for 2 hours. It's another 3 points of endurance lost. You all are drenched, but thankfully it is a warm rain rather than the cool rain. All 4 of you are now up to taking an action to try to assist the group in traversing.
Can I, like, roll survival forest, but since I don't have it?
You could attempt to
Intelligence
basically-
plus survival forest to...
That's with a -2, right?
Yeah, that would be a -2. What are you attempting to do with that?
I'm attempting to follow a natural deer path. Which Tony has no idea. He's like, I'm going to try to follow the paths the animals make. Whatever those are.
Sure, you could attempt to do something like that. Alright, that's a success. Basic success. Describe for us then, Jordan.
He's like, as the rain is coming pouring down, Trusty Tony, cursing over his breath, notices somehow, out of the corner of his eye, he's like, there's a broken twig in the front. He's like, hey, Potman, there's a broken twig here. Doesn't that sort of mean like something went through here recently? Or something?
Oh yeah, that's an animal trail.
Yeah, I guess we could follow this and,
Yeah,
Go that way.
probably. Animals beat down actual trails if they go through here enough. That
Cool, I
probably
guess I
means the ground is pretty stable and safe.
maybe. I guess it's better than nothing.
For sure.
Actual progress get.
And it is indeed better than nothing, yes. You folks are managing to make a fairly good time. As you trek through here, you figure that you've probably gone, close to 5 miles now over the time. You've made some pretty good time. It's currently 10 in the AM. You've been traveling for 3 hours.
Trusty Tony's already starting to feel the effects.
A full 9 endurance points dropped already.